Salespeople get a lot of bad advice. Sales is hard, which is why there are so few strong salespeople. When something is hard, you can't seem to get enough advice on how to do it better. Advice on asking questions usually creates more problems than it helps. A salesperson typically works as hard as they can to achieve the sales they are required to produce. As one of the few employees charged with a performance metric, they'll try anything to make sure they keep their job. So they seek out advice, and they get it. Just ask open-ended questions. You just need to ask lots of questions. Ask an insert question type here question. Tactical questions with fancy labels are the new thing. Make sure that you're always probing so that salesperson, thinking they have new tools to use, rushes out to use all these new questions. It's almost like running with scissors. What they don't know is that this valuable advice is about to get them burned. They show up for sales meetings with all the tactics swimming in their head, trying to figure out where to take the sales conversation. But their intention to have better conversations ends up creating a nightmare. They interrogate, they offend, they go nowhere with their questions. Instead of asking questions about real things and to better understand the situation, they end up creating hostile prospects that don't want to be open with them. Instead of asking questions to help themselves and their prospects determine if it makes sense to do business, they walk away with less business. Why are we making it worse for salespeople? Do we really believe that new tricks are going to work better? Do we really think that using questions that way is a better language than just conversation? Why are we arming them with weapons as if they are in a tug of war? All we are really accomplishing is handcuffing them from being who they are. We are creating salespeople that think being in a selling situation is different than being in real life. When they have that thought, they aren't authentic anymore. What we really need to do is help them be their best version of themselves and to act like it when selling. Sure, there are best practices around questions, but the secret to teaching salespeople how to ask questions is to remind them of how they use questions in a non-selling situation and train them to act that way in a selling situation. Learning to be yourself and to act authentically as yourself when you're selling is the hardest part for most salespeople. All the bad advice we have given them have led them to believe that they need to be someone else. Once you start training your salespeople to be authentic and they sell that way, is the day that you have a winning salesperson. For more tips like this, visit Lucian.com.